Hi there folks, welcome to my channel. This is Handmade by Shirley. I've come on to do the card number 1 of my 30-day Christmas cards. So this was the first card I did, and it's just a lovely little holly wreath, pretty simple. Did it masking, and I've just come on to show you how. So I've got now this size of card is 6x6 card base, and then I've got a 5.5 layer of glitter green, and then I've got my white piece that I'm going to stamp on is 5.25. So I'm going to start the stamping, and I'm using the nice old retired Stampin' Up one called Joyful Holly. And there is 2 hollies, so I'm using this one to create. There is infills and things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to colour them in with alcohol markers. So the way that I did this, I just started off in a corner and I just inked up my stamp, popped it onto my block and inked it up. And then popped one of these down at the top. So just at the top here, like so. And then I wanted to kind of go all the way around as much as I could. So I'm just going to pop another one on. So I'm just trying to decide if I need. So I've made a couple of masks, and they're not sticky backs, but I made a couple of masks because I thought that was how I did the last card. So these aren't actually sticky, but the idea is to cover this area up so that you can then place this piece over the top. So ideally you would use a piece of post-it note or something that's going to stick, but I'm just going to hold mine in place, and I'm just going to go over there and hold that down, and then that then still creates that curve, but because you've put the mask on, it looks like it's behind, or it's just coming out of that same first sprig that you put down. So you can do that all the way around. Now, as I say, usually it would be something with sticky on the back, but because this stamp is quite a fine stamp, I've just made a mask out of card, and I'm just holding it over where I want it to go. Ideally you would more than likely use something that actually sticks. So there we go, there's another one. So we're creating our curve to make the wreath. So I've got one for there and also one for here. I've got 2, so you could make 3, but I think 2 is sufficient. So I'm just going to carry on going round. Trying not to get ink on me though, and just hovering over like that. There we go. And then I just need one more on this part here. So I've got another piece I've cut out, and I'm just sticking. So what you could actually do is you could use a little bit of your tape runner on the back if you don't want that to kind of move, just on one area. You don't want to put loads on, just on one area, and then keep it in place that way. And the same with this piece. You could, but I would suggest you do it with a piece of I can't think of the word is escaping me just now. You put it on with something that's got a sticky back on it to keep it in place. So our last little bit, and we probably won't need the whole of the stamp. So I've just stamped up that top area here, and I'm just going to go over like that, and then I can just hopefully wriggle that off, wriggle that one off as well, and that was how I created my wreath. So the next thing that I did was as I say, on that stamp set there is a bit where you can do the two-step stamping, so you could go around doing that. But I've decided that I'm just going to colour it in with some alcohol markers, and I've got some stamping blends from Stampin'Up called Light Soft Succulent and Dark Soft Succulent. So I'm going to put in the dark areas first. What I think it would probably be darker areas. So it's just a case of colouring in these areas. There we go, so I did that with the dark, and then I'm going to bring in the light pen just to finish. I'll go for the thinner end. So yeah, that was all I did really. Went round doing that. Just think it gives a lovely wreath shape. If you don't have a wreath in your stash, wreath stamp, you can do this. So masking off, making it look like the holly is behind or in front, depending on which way you look at it. Because I've not worked out yet how to fast forward this part, I'm afraid if you find this part boring, you can fast forward me when I'm doing it on the actual video. My editorial skills for doing that sort of thing I've not learned those yet, so perhaps that's something I need to think about editing. It's nice to watch how each step is done though, because I'm not really going to learn much if everything is in fast forward. So the darker colour just gives the line of where the middle stalk part of the holly leaf would be. I mean, I could be a bit more detailed, but for purposes of this video, I don't think I really need to. I think the stamp has got all the areas in it that, you know, have the detail. Our last two now, didn't take too long. There we go. So I think I'm going to keep it that way because I'm going to pop my bow, and I have got a couple of smudges there, but I'm not going to worry about them too much because it's a few smudges. So I'm just going to get the real red alcohol marker and then go around just doing the berries now. And that will just finish it off. So it's quite a simple card really. So just if you know you have this particular stamp set or you have a similar thing, just a wee idea of how you could make it into a nice wreath. There we go. Now what I'm actually going to do with this pen is I'm going to splatter it a bit, because I did a bit of splatter on this one, you can just see there, and then I did a bit of splatter with the glitter pen. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm using the brush end because that's usually better for the splatter, and I'm just going to tap it along all over, and it just starts to make tiny wee droplets onto that card. There we go. And I'm going to now stamp my sentiment in the middle. So I put the sentiment even, may your season be merry and bright, but I'm going to change it up and do a joyful Christmas to you as instead. So any stamps that you've got or anything you've got, just do a similar thing. Oh, these stamps are losing their stickiness, so just that's better. And then I'm going to stamp that in tulip red. And pop that in the middle, like so. There we go. Looks good. And then I'm going to just get my glitter pen, my shimmer pen as well, which I'm going to splat. I'm going to use the same technique. So it's a brush pen, and you just tap it on something like a block, and that should create some glitter. I think you can just see that one there. And what you also could do is you could also take your glitter pen and go around the leaves of the holly. Just have to prime this a little bit more because it's not wanting to come out, that's it. So just go round doing your leaves. Because it's always nice to have a little bit of sparkle on on a Christmas card, isn't it? Just always think it's nice to have sparkle anyway, but on a Christmas card I think it's nice to have it too. So you can see that as well. There's a little bit of a sparkle there. So now all I need to do is really put it together. So this was the one we had earlier. I'll put that away. That was the one we had the first time around. So as I say, I've got my matte layer. So it's a green piece. That one was just a piece of green card. It wasn't glitter card. So we're just going to pop that on top like that. And I did corner the edges, so I might do that again if I can find my corner herb, which is here. So I did two sides, I had a corner punch. So I'm going to do two opposite diagonals. Better. And the same on this one, so they correspond. You can see that glitter just gets absolutely everywhere. It's everywhere. So we're just going to pop this down with some glue. Like so. And then because this glitter card, I wouldn't put this on with tape pen. I would definitely use glue or red liner tape, because you don't want this to come off, your card front to come off, because the glitter, it's a bit harder for this card to adhere to the glitter card below because of the fact that it's not smooth. So I would definitely put this down with wet glue or red liner tape. I wouldn't use a tape pen because it's likely to come off at some point. So there we go, just press that down, make sure it's stuck, turn it over, give it a good old burnish. I've got glitter everywhere. And that's more or less your card. I just need to add a little ribbon now. So let's see what ribbon I did have. A tartan ribbon, a wee bit tartan. So let's see if I've got another piece here I could add. Or I could just add a little. I've got another piece, so let's just add that. So let's just cut a little piece away and let's make a bow. So 2 bunny ears is what I do. Cross them over and then pass them through one of the loops through the hole and pull. Do that again because that wasn't the best. So 2 bunny ears and then pass one of the loops through the hole and pull. That's how you get it. It's the easiest way to try and get it. Right. So once you get your bow right, this one's twisted round, see? I have to do that again, people. So 2 bunny ears. This could be the worst bit, is making the bow. pull that back until you've got it where you want it to be, and then just trim off the excess on a slight slant, and then we can pop it down. Not happy with that ribbon, you know. I did it fine the last time, but oh, the woes of a ribbon or a bow, whatever, that's better. It's because it's keeps turning around. Right, that will do. We'll leave it at that. There we go. It's not as good a bow as the first one, but just because it's twisted round for some reason, let's just put it on. So I put this on with a couple of glue dots. So just put a glue dot at the back here. And I did put some at the other side as well, but and just pop that in like so. Might put another couple down just to hold that in place. So we can turn this round because it's not quite lying properly. So we can get our glue dot and that will hold that in place like that. And that's your card. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make the cards, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.